Hey, I'm Chris. I live in Las Vegas and I love Keytars. So I hope I'm meeting you all well. I'm hoping finding you all well. It is the middle of my week in Las Vegas and the Super Bowl is just around the corner. So I wanted to try my best to finish up my series on my football player Keytars. Now, let's begin. Over here is my football player Keytars. Why are they my football player Keytars? Because they have no necks. Now, I'm a big fan of shoulder synthesizers. I'm a big fan of synthesizers that you can wear on your body and run around on a stage. Up at the top is the Korg 707. Below that is the Casio CZ1000. And below that is the Yamaha DX100. But today, I am going to cover that guy over there, the Korg Poly 800. Love this Keytar. Okay. The Korg Poly 800 is an analog Keytar synthesizer. Came out in 1983, I believe. Let's scope out some of the particulars. They have two DCOs. It has about 8 voices of polyphony. But you can stack the polyphony on top of each other and make 4 tones come out, but it'll be heavier and thicker. It looks complicated, but honestly, in true 80s form, all of your editing levels are on top. They're printed on top of the keyboard. So if you want to edit anything on your sounds, you can do it by looking at your menu on top of the keyboard. Really odd thing here, there are no zeros or ones. There are 64 different voices programmed into this guy, but you can't put like 01, 02, 03. No, it doesn't work that way. It starts off at 11, and then it ends at 18, and then it ends at 88. But again, there are no zeros, there are no nines. It's very European, I'm guessing. But a lot of my favorite tones on this guy are pads, and there's awesome warm tones on this guy. Of course, the bass lines, because this is 80s, they love the bass. So another unique ability that this guy has is it has a built-in sequencer. I think it's over 200 steps. I only go up to 64 steps just to keep my sequences nice and neat. So the really groovy thing about this synthesizer is, yes, it's an 80s synthesizer. I was like 6 years old when this baby came out, but it's got the strap buttons, dude. Yes, you can wear this on your body as you run around on stage. That is a big plus in my book. So let's go over a couple of the sounds, and I will go over the sequencer so you can see what this guy can do. Okay. Nice. Very synthy. Okay. Again, there are no ones or zeros, so you're going to have to click through all of the numbers to order to find the sequence that you like or the sound that you like. What else? One of my favorite sounds on here, because there are sound effects on this keyboard, which is amazing because I thought it was really funny how in the 80s they would throw like car alarms, and they would throw klaxon sounds, and they would throw the sound of a train, the sound of a helicopter in your keyboard. And that, it's not just your toy keyboards. Like if you got a toy keyboard at a Target or at, this Montgomery Ward or something in the 80s, if you bought a toy keyboard, yeah, there'd be a whole bunch of sound effects in it. So it's funny how even professional keyboards have sound effects in. One of my favorite sounds on this guy is number 88. Now, as silly as that sounds, I'm in love with that sound, and I'm going to tell you why. So 80s cartoons was everything to me when I was a kid. And This particular sound is the same sound from this TV show. Every time their magic ship would fly away, it would make this noise. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember this guy. It used to play on Nickelodeon. It's called Spartacus and the Sun Beneath the Sea. They had a magic ship that flew through the earth, and that's the sound that the ship would make as it would travel. I was in love with that show. So, again, lots of sound effects in this guy. That sound happens to be number 88. In the 30s, I think I found a helicopter. Ooh, 38, let's see, 38. Yeah. Number 38 is a helicopter. Now, when it comes to sound effects, really love the sound effects this thing can make, but honestly, I love the warm, beautiful pads. Like that first one I showed you. Warm, beautiful pads. There's beautiful strings on this guy. Nice slap bass. I honestly can't tell you the names of any of these tones. I've gone on the manual. They don't have a list of tones, dude. You honestly just have to click through all the tones to find what you love. But honestly, I like all the warm, thick sounds. Ooh, all of the fives, like 25, 35, 45. I like all of those. Now, I did mention that this guy has a sequencer. It's a step sequencer. It's one of the cool things on this guy that I'm in love with, because you could program a sequence and then you could play on top of it, or you could just program a sequence, play it, and then just run around on stage like you're playing that the whole time, but you're not. You know you're not. So, I recorded that earlier. That's a sequence that was done. And I'm going to bring you through how I do that, okay? So, on the back panel, there's a little thing that says sequencer on there. You're going to hit the sequence button. Where are you? To enable, right there. And then, you're going to hit start. Let's see. You're going to hit start on your sequence. And then you play whatever you want to play. So let's say I want to make a bass line. "64 steps is where I usually stop. So you put that in, click that thing again, and hit play. That's everything I just played. They sequence it and they quantize it. So it doesn't matter if you play long notes, short notes, it's gotta just play that in sequence. Now, if you want to add rest into your sequence, let's see if I can't find this again. Enable sequencer right there. Let's say you want to add whole notes or you want to add rests, okay? Let's see. You are going to hold down your note and you are going to hit the step button. Let's say I want to do this as a whole note. There's your whole note C. Let's hit the next note and make it 4 counts. Hold that down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the next note. Let's make it an F. Hold that down. You hit the step button and hit it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the last one. G. Hold that down with the step button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's listen to it. Turn off that sequencer. Let's listen to how it sounds. Oh, come on. Let's try it again. Gee. Enable sequencer. Hit start. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, that's hurting my ears. Again, you can see how easy it is just to run a sequence. You can do whole notes, half notes, whatever. But you just have to hit that little step in order to add steps to it. I can't live with that sequence, so I have to write something else. Give me a sec. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so you just saw I made a sequence. Now I'm going to play something on top of that sequence. Again, digital analog synthesizer. It's got a sequencer. It's got MIDI in it. You can use it as a MIDI controller or hook it up to other synthesizers, but honestly, it's got everything you already need inside of it. It's got a sequencer. It's got a whole bunch of dope sounds in it. It's not difficult to edit. You could stack sounds on top of each other to make the resonance of this baby sound thick. It's got 8 notes of polyphony, but and again, you could stack notes on top of each other to make it thicker sounds, henceforth making it 4-note polyphony, but it sounds awesome when you do that. Again, sequencer. It's got the cool little mod bar joysticky thing. It's so 80s, and I'm so in love with it. And again, I'm in love with it because it has that groovy guitar strap buttons. Let's see if I can't do this chorus. Perimeter, chorus, 48. Oh, it's on. Okay, my chorus is on. All right, just want to make sure. I want to be able to showcase the cool sounds that are in this guy. And again, I don't know any of the sounds that are in this. I don't know the names of them. I can tell if something's a saw wave. I can tell if something's a square wave. But at the same time, it's like I don't know the name of the patch. And it's really funny how General MIDI was a big thing back in the 80s. Each and every company had its own General MIDI sounds. Like, even if you were playing General MIDI on a Yamaha instrument and playing General MIDI on a Roland, you could hear that, hey, they developed their own sounds for their own General MIDI, even if the order was the same. Ooh. So, once more, Poly digital analog Keytar. Sequencer, it's got amazing powers. I love it. Came out in 1983, and it has no neck. A Keytar with no neck. Whew. The next one, I'm thinking I'm going to do the Casio CZ1000 because it's one of the hardest ones to edit. Or maybe I'll do that one last. Maybe I will go into the Korg 707. The Korg 707, awesome performance keyboard. It's not complicated to program, and it's got really cool lead sounds on it. Happiness, health, hugs from Las Vegas. I hope I'm finding you all well. I'm Keytar Chris. I'm about to start my day. Have a great day, everyone. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Keytar is life.